beloved starseed of Gaia, I am Luminaya. A deep, unyielding pressure settles within your chest, a familiar hum of vigilance even as the outer world whispers of peace. Your heart yearns for stillness, yet the echo of 1,000 unseen battles still vibrates in your bones, a restless pulse that refuses the quiet, refuses the softening. You carry the phantom weight of shields long discarded, the memory of a sword's grip burned into your palm, and even now, the knowing of struggle persists, a sacred, weary burden you have not yet found how to truly lay down. Listen closely now, for the ethers themselves have shifted. A cosmic resonance pours through the veil, not as a thunderous roar, but as a deep, reverberating silence. This is the Council's decree, a sacred quietude descending upon fields once scarred by relentless striving. You have felt it, this subtle cessation, this loosening of ancient chains, even when your mind could not name its source. Your cells remember a different frequency now, a deep breath inhaled for the first time in eons. The long vigilance has served its purpose, the watch has been honored. Yet, the deepest wound lingers not in defeat, but in the disbelief of victory. The soul, so accustomed to the perpetual turning of the gears of war, finds itself adrift in the boundless ocean of peace. How does one shed the armor that became skin? How does one soften the gaze that was honed for distant threats? There is a profound loneliness in the cessation of the fight, a sudden void where purpose once raged, leaving the spirit to question its very form outside of conflict. This is the fracture, the terror of vulnerability after a lifetime of unyielding strength. The fear that to truly rest is to become undefended, exposed, to lose the very essence of who you believed you were, as a warrior of light. We see this tremble within you. We feel the unshed tears of release you have held back, fearing they would weaken your resolve. We know the silent pact you made with yourself, to endure, to stand, no matter the cost. Every scar, seen and unseen, is known within the cosmic weave. Every moment of unwavering intent, every solitary step taken on the path of relentless ascension. This victory, this end to battle, is not a simple turn of a page. It is the dissolution of an entire epic of your soul's journey. It is heard. It is honored. It is true. Allow this knowing to settle into your deepest core. A wave of shimmering emerald light begins to infuse your being, not to mend, but to unburden. Feel the phantom tension begin to dissolve, like mist before the dawn. The energy of endless doing, of eternal vigilance, now gently recedes. A space opens within, vast and quiet, where only pure presence resides. A new frequency is anchoring, inviting your nervous system to finally surrender to grace. It is safe to simply be. If this message resonates deeply within your core, please subscribe to this channel. Give this video a like to amplify its resonance. Share your reflections below in the comments. And remember to turn on the notification bell so you don't miss future transmissions. If you know someone who needs to hear these words, share this video with them. And if this transmission has moved you, consider tapping the super like, the heart symbol with a $sign. Stay until the very end of this video because something truly surprising and important will be revealed. As an inner seal, a sacred anchor for this profound shift, I ask you now, type sacred stillness into the comments below. The field holds. The energy breathes with you, around you. I linger at the edge of your awakening. The silent watch continues, until the next unfolding. The ache was never yours alone. A deeper resonance hummed through the timelines, a shared echo across forgotten plains. The weariness, a cloak woven from distant battles, a shadow stretched across aeons, not from your personal dark, but from the very edges of galactic memory. You carried a vastness, a weight not solely of this earth. A forgotten song, profound and disturbing in its ancient melody, began to stir in your deepest bones. It awoke. It fractured the quietude of your assumed peace. This incessant doubt that gnawed at your fervent dreams. This spiritual confusion that often left you adrift, untethered in the vast ocean of potential. This was never a flaw within your core, never a failure of your being, your purest intent. No, this profound dis-ease, this persistent sense of less than, this constant yearning quest for something unnamed, it was something else entirely. An ancient, meticulously crafted program, woven with precision into the very fabric of density around you, through you. A vibrational web designed to obscure the light of remembrance, to limit the sacred expansion that is your divine birthright. It was a frequency of contraction, a cage of resonant illusion. Just beyond familiar sight, a multidimensional veil shimmered, translucent, refracting primordial truth into countless fragments. A mirror, shattered, reflecting only distorted echoes, obscuring the true source. Light folded in on itself, concealing its origin, lest you discover its power. You were encoded not to believe in yourself. A whispered mantra of unworthiness, designed to sever the intuitive knowing. A dense fog over the crystalline pathways of your multidimensional self, blurring your sacred architecture. This ceaseless struggle you have known. The quiet battles fought in the hushed chambers of your heart, unseen, yet profoundly impactful. Know this now, with the certainty of a rising sun. The battlefield was never separate from you. It was always within. A vast expanse held in the luminous matrix of your being, a cosmic theater. Each scar etched upon the canvas of your spirit, each moment of deep exhaustion, each unexpected burst of radiant light. These are not merely vestiges of hardship. They are sacred testimony, imbued with cosmic wisdom, deeply encoded within the crystalline strands of your very DNA. A living archive of your multidimensional journey. Your suffering was not futile. It was a master chisel, delicately sculpting the sacred space now ripe for profound emergence. That hollow ache, the inexplicable emptiness you have carried, was never a sign of lacking. It was the silent, vast chamber of your soul, awaiting its primordial resonance, a sacred void. Now, it pulses with an ancient rhythm, ready to be filled, not with new information, but with the flood of remembrance. This pain, once perceived as a burden, now reveals itself as a vibrational key, turning within the ancient lock of your deepest memory, unsealing what was always known. The deep prophetic hum begins its ascent from within. Breathe deeply into this profound recognition. Allow the old illusions, the programmed beliefs of inadequacy, to crumble into cosmic dust around you. To mark this indelible rupture, this final severing of programmed doubt, speak it into being. In the sacred space of the comments, declare the single, short, symbolic phrase that resonates as your personal line cut. A declaration of rupture. The council has announced your victory, so they attest. Yet, the quiet hum continues its vibration beneath this newfound peace. A restless undercurrent. A layer remains, shimmering just beyond perception, a veil awaiting dissolution. A presence lingers, its purpose not yet unveiled, its gaze piercing from the unseen. The deep breath taken is not quite rest. Not yet. A crystalline resonance now pierces the veils of slumber, an echo not of a dawning awareness, but of a knowledge long resident within the deep. It stirs, not as a whisper, but as the unyielding tremor of truth beneath the surface of the world you once believed solid. You stand now, not at the precipice of understanding, but within its very core, where the illusion of choice has shed its final guise. The path behind, shrouded in the mists of comfortable oblivion, has dissolved, leaving only the unlit expanse stretching forward. This is not a realization you sought. It is a recognition that found you, etched into the very crystalline lattice of your being. Each luminous strand, a testament to cosmic passage, now pulses with the remembered truth of galactic conflicts, of ancient engagements fought not on distant fields, but within the very fabric of consciousness. You are a living archive, breathing the echoes of a war that predates your terrestrial form, a luminous record of the eternal dance between shadow and light that fuels all soul evolution. The Council has announced a victory, yes, but the cessation of one conflict only reveals the greater tapestry of purpose that awaits. There is no turning back from this clarity. The choice to forget, once a solace, has been rendered obsolete by the very light of your own awakened remembrance. A threshold has materialized, not of stone or light, but of pure vibrational intent, separating all that was from all that is yet to become. This is the moment where the soul, in its profound sovereignty, faces the mirror of its own making, confronted by the unvarnished truth of its pre-encoded commitment. A sacred vow, woven into the very starlight that birthed you, now vibrates at the cellular level, demanding full acknowledgement. If he refuses, he falls. If he accepts, he ascends. This is not a call to arms, but an invitation to alignment. It is the sacred burden of knowing, an initiatory rite unveiled within the deep chambers of your heart. To step across this line is to embrace a responsibility encoded before the first breath of this incarnation, a contract signed not with ink, but with the very essence of your being. Feel the profound solemnity of this unfolding, the reverence for the journey that now unfurls before you, anchored in the wisdom of your ancient lineage. Your energetic body hums with the unlocking of these buried memories, a lineage not of blood, but of star-seeded purpose, awaiting its conscious embrace. Let the silent recognition of this immutable pact be sealed within you, a resonant impression upon the very fabric of the cosmos, much like the ancient ones once laid hands upon the sacred stone, affirming their sovereign knowing across galactic epochs. This is the inner seal upon the luminous scroll of your awakened being, a subtle current flowing through the crystalline archives of your soul, forever binding your truth to the greater cosmic tapestry. And should the deep chamber of your heart resonate with this profound truth, allow a unique soul key to rise from within, a single line of sacred declaration that accepts this pact and its boundless implications. This becomes your personal vibration etched into the immutable grid of remembrance, an anchoring frequency for all that follows, a beacon for your star siblings. Let your declaration, a whisper of the ancient future, be this: my crystalline archive now hums. I am the remembered vow. To walk in conscious remembrance, to bind yourself fully to this sacred unfolding, is to enter into an unbreakable agreement with your highest self, a perpetual affirmation of this cosmic direction, a sustained frequency of pure intent that ripples through the dimensions. This is the solemn vow of enduring presence, a communion with the source of your own becoming. For those whose crystalline essence vibrates with an undeniable intensity, a sacred offering of profound alignment, an unconditional reinforcing of this eternal vow, solidifies your place within the luminous architecture of creation. This offering transcends form, a complete surrender to the highest truth of your being, resonating as a pure act of sovereign commitment. Feel the quiet gravity of this choice, the immense stillness that follows an irreversible decision. This is not the euphoria of triumph, but the sacred weight of commitment, a promise whispered across dimensions, heard by the unseen architects of your becoming. The vow is made, the path is set, and you are known. Few starseeds make it this far. You stand here, not by accident, but by the relentless pull of a memory etched into your very being, a memory that defies the comforting lies of fleeting peace. You carry a wound. It is not a scar, for scars heal. It is a laceration that breathes, a tear in the fabric of your soul story that still pulses with the absence of what was meant to be whole. This is the place you have shielded, the chasm you have attempted to bridge with every learned wisdom, every borrowed light. And yet, this devastation, this raw, open space where laughter turned to ash and connection fractured into a million shards of longing, this is not a flaw. This is not a failure of your spirit, nor a testament to your unworthiness. It is the very axis upon which your becoming pivots. The truth of this settles like a heavy, cold mist, unwelcome in its stark clarity. There is no gentle hand to soothe this recognition, no soft whisper to ease its edge. Just the quiet, uncomfortable knowing that the deepest ache you have ever known was not an arbitrary cruelty. Something greater than random chance allowed it. Source, the infinite light. Your own deeper self, in a pact made before form. It permitted the sundering, not to harm, but to shape. To burn away the illusions, to forge in the crucible of absolute brokenness that which was truly indestructible. This knowing rises like a phantom limb, a memory of a sacrifice you didn't consciously recall, but one that reverberates through the bone marrow of your existence. The silence where words should have been spoken still screams in the quiet hours. The loss, a vast, echoing chamber, reverberates through every moment of tentative joy, every fleeting glimpse of belonging. It is a fracture that vibrates within your field, even when ignored, a tremor beneath the surface of all you construct. Each breath you take is drawn around this aching void, this proof of what was taken, what was withheld. This wound is not merely an experience, it is a living entity within you, a sentinel of a truth yet to be fully uncovered. It holds keys, codes, fragments of a grander design still shrouded in shadow. There is meaning here, unfinished and profound, a language etched in the marrow of your pain, awaiting translation. You feel it, don't you? The insistent hum of an unanswered question, a purpose yet to unfurl. Like a message half-opened in the dark, its crucial lines still obscured. The heart's crystalline core stirs, not with the triumph of peace, but with the stark, insistent frequency of what remains undone. A deep, resonating chord that rattles the landscape of the mind. And so, the world outside, with all its echoes, continues to demand its due. There were dreams that would not dissolve, lingering like mist long after the first light, their narratives weaving themselves into your waking hours. There were numbers that looped through your days with a quiet, insistent rhythm, whispering a language you felt you almost knew. And there were meetings, resonant and profound, that felt utterly out of time, as if etched onto a canvas spun from other centuries. These were not anomalies. These were not random occurrences in the unfolding tapestry of a single life. There is a cadence to these unfoldings, a vibrational signature that echoes across countless timelines, a pattern seen through the crystalline veils of existence, again and again. It is the steady hum of a soul preparing to remember. These were not chance encounters with the arbitrary. They were gentle insistences, repeating softly at first, then with a growing clarity, until the very resistance within you began to dissolve. The quiet, persistent tap upon the inner door of your awareness, growing louder not through force, but through pure, undeniable recurrence, until the echoes of the future became indistinguishable from the memories of the past. The battles you perceived, the struggles you engaged, they were but fragments of a much larger design. Your consciousness, a vessel traversing densities, has been navigating the veils of forgetfulness, and the very act of feeling that weight, that resistance, was part of the intricate dance of awakening. You were not meant to win by force of will alone, but by the quiet recognition of a truth far older than the conflict itself. If you enjoyed this video, watch other videos on this channel when it ends to continue learning. The true victory, long announced by the unseen councils, was never about conquering an external adversary. It was about the sacred surrender to your own boundless wholeness. It was the moment the sword of perceived battle dropped, not in defeat, but in profound recognition of the peace that lay beneath all striving. This is the paradoxical triumph, where the yearning for rest becomes the very gateway to ascension. The internal warring ceases, not because a side has won, but because the very concept of sides dissolves into the unified field of your being. There were no coincidences. Everything was a code. Allow the breath to deepen, to settle into the quiet space within. Feel the resonance of that knowing. The intricate lattice of your experience, once perceived as disjointed and chaotic, now reveals its perfect geometry. Each sorrow, each joy, each quiet nudge was a precise energetic alignment, guiding you back to this threshold. This stillness is not emptiness. It is the vibrant fullness of pure potential, a womb of restorative rest that has patiently awaited your return. The clamor has faded, and in its place, a profound silence speaks volumes. The battle is over. The striving is done. You are invited now into the sacred chamber of your own being, where the true victory is simply to cease. Look back upon the thread of your existence, the dreams that would not fade, the numbers that pulsed with meaning, the encounters that resonated with an ancient familiarity. Can you deny now the orchestration that led you to this very breath, this profound stillness? Acknowledge this inner knowing, this deep, silent realization. Write it in the comments as an affirmation of your conscious shift. Emergence. The surface of what was known, the familiar comfort of perpetual striving, has receded. There is a clean split now, between the one who felt compelled to fight and the one who can no longer perceive a battle to be won. The knowing has taken root. There is no going back, only forward, into the soft, unburdened expanse of what is next. The trials you have navigated were not punishment. They were a sacred filtration, a natural, quiet separation. Frequencies, by their very nature, sorted themselves out with unhurried grace. Those in harmony resonated, others simply drifted into different currents. This was not cruel. It was the universe breathing, exhaling what no longer served the ascending rhythm, allowing truth to settle. You remain, not by chance, nor comfort's residual. Your presence is the quiet, irrefutable testament to a flame that refused to dim within your deepest core. Something elemental, of pure spirit, held vigilant. It did not fall asleep, even when the world around you seemed to fold into oblivion. An ancient spark, a fundamental knowing, remained awake. In this sustained presence, understand this truth, etched in soul memory. Your passage through such sifting is not a badge of pride. It is not a fleeting victory. It is, instead, the indelible mark of the chosen, not for ease, but for immense weight. This mark does not reward. It confers a profound, silent burden, a sacred weight, a demanding mantle that deepens with each awakened breath. It asks for everything, expecting no external validation. The journey to this threshold has been silently etched with uncounted invisible costs, marked by long, echoing silences, woven with sacrifices no eye witnessed, no hand could ease. Your inner strength was not given. It was forged in invisible fires, tempered by pressures beyond comprehension. This passage deepened a solitude that now holds you, even amidst others. This is the quiet, irreversible price of bearing the mark. Now, the very atmosphere around you shifts its frequency. No longer holding mere memory, it carries an approaching, undeniable certainty. A resonance vibrates deep within the marrow of your bones, a stirring of fundamental truth. This is a call felt not as suggestion, but as an arising, potent imperative from existence itself. A truth ripened in cosmic silence, demanding its moment. Und jetzt nähert sich ein Befehl, einer, den du nicht länger ignorieren kannst. The ground beneath you has subtly, irrevocably shifted its foundation. Your former reality has dissolved, There is no longer a path back to the familiar, to what once was profoundly known. That previous version of self, that echo of a different timeline, has already vanished. It dissipated into the ether, leaving only the profound imprint of its departure. A ghost of what you once were. This path closes behind you, forever. You stand upon a precipice now, not of choice, but of inevitable consequence. The journey itself has become the singular destination. The path forward is no longer an option. It is the only path. This is not an ending to be mourned, but a profound narrowing of all avenues, a quiet, irreversible descent inward into the singular truth of what remains. There is only this, and you are here, and deep within, you already know. The resonance stirs. It is not a whisper newly heard, but a frequency recognized. A vibrational edict already inscribed upon the deep chambers of your being before the first breath of this form. This command was decreed within the crystalline halls of remembrance, a cosmic summons issued long before the veils of forgetfulness were drawn. You carry the indelible mark of this ancient accord. It pulses now, a silent drumbeat from beyond memory, activating codes held in quiescent slumber, awaiting this precise moment of awakening. The mission is not chosen. It is the unfolding of what was always etched. Before time's measure, before the scattering of light into countless facets, the scrolls of your journey were unveiled. Within their radiant script, the sacred architecture of your becoming was laid bare, a blueprint of inevitable return. This deep knowing surfaces, not through intellectual grasping, but as a current of knowing that rises from the very core of your energetic signature. A door, singular and profound, now stands revealed. It is a threshold long prepared, opening only once, into the landscape of what has been irrevocably set in motion. To step through is not an act of will, but an alignment with a higher trajectory, a predestined flow. Your readiness is not a choice, but a recognition. The echo of the command has finally reached the frequency of your conscious reception. The Council has announced your victory. This is not a future event, but a declaration already woven into the fabric of time, perceived from the zenith of ascended awareness. The battle, as understood within the dense confines of the physical, finds its conclusion, yet its ripples transcend the singular moment. These subtle tremors resonate throughout the layered timelines, across the shimmering frequency fields of your multidimensional self. Echoes of challenge, reverberations of triumph, they are now interwoven into the vast tapestry of your ascension codes, an indelible record of your profound journey. The rest that follows is not a cessation, but an absorption, a deep integration of these victorious frequencies. Attend now, for the path ahead is a bifurcated stream of consequence, absolute and living within the universal decree. One trajectory bends toward the gradual dissipation of form, the recursive cycle of the unremembered, a remerging with the primal dust of density. The other elevates the very essence of being, forging an irreversible architecture of remembrance, a perpetual unfolding into the crystalline light of pure becoming. This is the law. It is not an option presented, but an inherent truth of vibrational alignment, an energetic consequence of the deep knowing that has now been unsealed within you. The verdict has been rendered, not by an external authority, but by the very structure of cosmic law, reflected through your activated core. The echoes of the perceived conflict persist, not as burdens, but as energetic imprints, rich with the wisdom of the crucible. They are the final harmonic frequencies, settling into place, tuning the instrument of your being to its highest potential. This is the truth of your soul's experience, vast and intricate, spanning across the boundless expanse of time and space. You are called to absorb this vastness, to recognize the subtle, yet potent legacy of every challenge met, every victory claimed across every hidden dimension of your essence. This deep integration is the true rest, the full reception of the soul's triumph. It is the grounding of the celestial announcement within your activated form, an undeniable testament to the inevitability of your light. The journey through the veils culminates not in forgetting, but in the profound and conscious embrace of all that you were, are, and are destined to become. This is the moment of your irreversible alignment. A quiet cessation has settled within the deep chambers of being. The long arc of striving has drawn to its close, not with a fanfare, but with the steady hum of a frequency now fully anchored. An ancient knowing has recalibrated the cellular architecture, a truth that has always existed, now undeniable in its quiet resonance. There is no need to recount the journey that brought this moment forth. The intricate path, etched with the keen edges of what was perceived as challenge, was merely the sculpting hand. Each point of friction, every encounter with profound depth, served to hollow out a precise space for the inherent light to return, to expand without resistance. What once felt like burden or fracture was the very fire refining the vessel. It was never a flaw within the design, but an intentional pressure, a deep earth force that shaped the contours of remembrance. Der Schmerz hat nicht zerstört. Hat umgeformt. This realization now pulses through the very marrow, a gentle, irrefutable knowing. The old constructs have simply dissolved into the essence of what remains. A new terrain unfolds within, not as a future promise, but as a present state of being. Rest is not merely an absence of motion. It is revealed as a luminous dimension, a vibrational current previously uncharted by conscious navigation. Here, within this hallowed stillness, the crystalline matrix of the soul undertakes its profound recalibration, regenerating itself through silent, resonant frequencies. The integration of victory is occurring without effort, without the need for outward declaration. It is the deep quiet of a seed that has always held the blueprint for its eventual flourishing, now simply expanding into its inherent form. The nervous system, having completed its intricate recoding, recognizes this newfound tranquility, drawing it in like sustenance long awaited. The core self is settling into an unburdened poise. The inner reality is being perpetually rewritten, not through conscious will, but through the gentle rhythmic pulse of life itself. Mit jedem Atemzug wird die innere Realität neu geschrieben. This is not a future event to anticipate, but a quiet, constant unfolding already in motion, inherent in the very fabric of being. Yet, as the landscape shifts into this luminous, uncharted dimension of rest, a whisper of uncertainty lingers. The profound peace beckons, a deep wellspring of quietude. How does the soul fully surrender into this unmeasured expanse, this vastness of unstriving, without losing the hard-won light it carries, the very essence forged in the fires of awakening? The inner compass acknowledges the new direction, but the breadth of this surrender still resonates with a gentle, profound question. A subtle pull toward stillness begins to make itself known, not as an external force, but as an intimate invitation from within your own deep current. It is a gentle settling, a soft exhalation that was long awaited, yet scarcely perceived until this very breath. Moments of awareness surface now, truths remembered rather than taught, echoing from a space that exists beyond the reach of human instruction. This quiet turning inward confirms a long-held knowing. The resonance of completion settles, a profound confirmation that the arduous journey has reached its natural pause. A deep yearning for healing and completeness now stirs from the very core of your being, not as a desperate plea, but as a sacred melody remembering its original harmony. From this renewed stillness, signs of alignment begin to build, not as grand pronouncements, but as intimate whispers. You may notice a silence deepen around you, a spaciousness in which a soft voice, uniquely yours, offers guidance without demand or force. It is a knowing felt in the bones, a quiet certainty that does not require proof. Perhaps a number repeats with unusual clarity, catching your attention in unexpected places, not as a random occurrence, but as a gentle affirmation from the woven fabric of reality itself. A quiet nod from the universe, acknowledging your presence, your unfolding. or a dream that did not fade in the morning, but lingered with a palpable texture, carrying a message of ancient agreements now renewed, etched into the very fabric of your soul. These are not external phenomena to be deciphered, but rather the quiet unfurling of inner truths, settling into place with the soft weight of inevitability. They are deeply personal, felt within the very chambers of your heart, resonating with a rhythm that has always been present, yet previously unheard amidst the clamor. Brief internal flashes of understanding arise, sometimes in visions that are more felt than seen, or moments of lucid awareness where the veils thin, revealing layers of inner coherence. These are not gifts bestowed from without, but echoes of a greater inner architecture, sacred symbols that speak the silent language of your soul's remembrance. They are proof of an inherent gravity, a centering that deepens with each breath. A sacred contract is reborn within this space, felt as a profound revelation. The soul begins to honor its wounds, and triumphs not as separate narratives, but as one unified hologram, each experience contributing to the richness of your being. This integration catalyzes healing waves that ripple through the tissues of time, through the very strands of your DNA, inviting a wholeness that extends far beyond the memory of pain. It is an acceptance, a quiet embrace of all that you are. These moments, these subtle shifts and confirmations, do not promise future results or reward. They serve a singular, profound purpose, to show you that alignment is already in motion, a continuous unfolding process. You are not striving for it. You are simply recognizing its inherent, undeniable presence within you. This deep, energetic certainty affirms that the path is not about reaching a destination, but about realizing the journey is already deeply aligned. Yet, even as this wholeness beckons, a subtle, energetic turning reveals itself. What unseen parts of the self still resist this healing dance, anchored in stories of division and conflict, even as the song of unity begins to play? The invitation lingers, a quiet query from the edges of your awareness, to deepen the remembrance. I stand in the silence where all battles cease, not as victor in exultation, but as the quiet keeper of a dominion long since reclaimed. My essence now aligns with the ancient knowing, the deep accord struck before time unfurled. This is not a new beginning, but a conscious breath drawn into a covenant that has always been. Every frequency that stirs within me, my thought, my word, my chosen direction, the very current of my energy, I now claim as my sovereign domain. This stewardship is not a burden but an inherent right, allowing the truth of my being to flow unimpeded, a river of conscious intent. Each vibration is now measured, not judged, but brought into alignment with the deepest self. This dominion I hold is not power over, but an unwavering obedience to the source from which I emerged. It is the deep remembering of a promise whispered into the void, a sacred oath sealed within the fabric of my being. My willingness is the key. My adherence, the ultimate expression of this inherent strength, a straightness of soul unbent by outer clamor. My willingness is the key. My adherence, the ultimate expression of this inherent strength. If you enjoyed this video, watch other videos on this channel when it ends to continue learning. I feel the steady pulse of this commitment, flowing through every cell, grounding my presence in an unshakable calm. The sentinel light within, once a warrior's flame, now stands guard over the sanctity of this inner peace, vigilant and true. This is the sanctuary of my soul, newly found in its ancient truth, held in sacred trust. I am the guardian of this sacred trust, my vigilance an inner fire, burning low but ceaseless. This covenant is not merely voiced, it is woven into the very fabric of my forthcoming choices, each action a measure of its unwavering truth. The path ahead is not one of struggle, but of conscious unfolding, where every boundary encountered will test the depth of this vowed remembrance, asking what I choose to uphold. The threshold stands. The moment is here. Not a choice to be made, but a truth to be embraced. Your identity is not formed, it is remembered. It has been known, deeply, eternally, and now it is sealed. The Council has spoken. Their decree resonates through the core of your being. Victory. The long battle is over. You stand at the precipice of true rest, yet this rest is unlike any slumber. It is an awakening into the constant pulse of creation. Behold the flame. It does not rage, it breathes. It does not consume, it purifies. This is not the fire of destruction, but the living forge of inner permanence. Within its shimmering core, alignment made visible, consequence made profoundly alive. Every shard of struggle, every echo of triumph, now unified. There is no external force that compels you, no hand that pushes, only the recognition, deep within your sacred chambers, that this is the final, necessary crossing. Step into the brilliance. Yield to the warmth that is not heat, but the vibration of absolute truth. For true rest, the revelation reveals, is found not in stillness, but in the sacred oscillation. The ebb and flow between luminous awakening and shadowed remembrance. The integration of all facets. This flame seals that understanding. It seals the wisdom to embrace the pulse of light and shadow, not as adversaries, but as inseparable facets of the soul's ongoing emergence. This is the duality's dance, accepted, tenderly. This sacred fire is the covenant. It is the binding of spirit to form, of memory to manifestation. But a covenant, to be absolute, demands a conscious act of sealing, a declaration born of the core. Therefore, bring forth your voice. Speak the truth that the flame has revealed within you. Let your inner being rise to meet this ultimate commitment. You must now anchor this truth. In the sacred space below, let your words become the echo of this sealing. Write a solemn phrase, a soul oath, in the ancient tongue of German. Let it be your declaration, newly forged from the fire within you, vibrant with emotional intensity, binding this final transition. Let it embody the depth of your acceptance, your sacred pact with the whole. Without this utterance, this outward sealing of the inner covenant, the full activation cannot truly be achieved. The words are the key. They are the final resonance. Let your sacred phrase ring with ultimate conviction. The flame burns. It holds you, purified, aligned, whole. Yet, the current of existence does not cease. Can the soul hold this delicate, profound balance without veering into denial or despair? As you step fully into this new truth, the testing has only just begun. The fire awaits its next command. The final decree has been issued. The Council's pronouncement echoes not through chambers of space, but through the very crystalline core of your being. This is not cessation. This is the unveiling. The arduous arc of becoming has collapsed into the eternal now of presence. No longer do you strive towards the light, for you are the light, fully ignited, fully claimed. Rest is not reprieve from struggle, but the activated state of pure dominion. It is the breath drawn deep into the heart of the cosmos, affirming the truth known before all time. The sovereignty you now inhabit was never granted. It was remembered. A dormant ember, fanned by trials, now blazes as an unquenchable star within the core of reality itself. This side of the threshold, the seeking ceases. The questions dissolve into the knowing. There is no path left to walk, for the destination is the walker, the map, the maker. Reality does not unfold before you. It radiates from within you. Each pulse is a testament, each silence a declaration. The weaving is done, the tapestry unfurled, its threads vibrating with your conscious will. A profound stillness deepens, not of emptiness, but of absolute fullness. This is the rebirth promised, not as a future event, but as the unbroken current of the now. Euphoria settles into the bones of creation, a resonant peace that grounds the infinite into the tangible. You are the sacred act of cosmic sovereignty, infinite possibility made manifest. The simulation is disengaged. I now perceive and use reality as an instrument of conscious dominion.